Jason Hugg, Reading Magazine. We're here at the Fox Berkshire Movie Theater talking with local actor Josh Spudeno about his role in Creed 2. Coming up. Video sponsored by Oakbrook Brewing Company, now open in Reading's historic Oakbrook Fire Station, by the Salt Lounge in Wyomissing. Relax, unplug, and breathe. And by the Digital Cloud Company, your business in the cloud. Hey guys, we're back with Josh. Tell me a little bit about how you got into acting.
Actually, I went to BTI and over here, and I got my associate's degree in graphic design, and my friend invited me over to work over at Shocktoberfest.
Okay.
And I worked for Shocktoberfest for 2 years, actually, and I got really good at what I did. And I had an opportunity to do acting, but then other opportunities knocked, and I wanted to go through my college and stuff. So I started to do that and didn't pan out. And then I went climbing trees for 13 years. And then I was to myself, I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life. What do I need to do to change? And I was like, you know what? I'm going back to acting because I love acting. Mm-hmm. So I went down to King of Prussia with Mike Lemon Casting, and I got my first classes with them. I learned from Melanie Frischetti. She is the casting director down there now. And I learned right from her, and I moved on. I got roles with the Pope, the most powerful man in history, which they cut the scene.
Okay.
because we were neo-Nazis telling death to the Pope. It didn't work out well.
Right.
But then I got my first speaking role with Who Killed Jane Doe, season 2, episode 2. I was Lieutenant Robert Rounds, and the most nervous thing I've ever done. And they just kept making me say everything over and over, and I was just like, I said it already 4 or 5 times. It's wrong, but I got that lingo down. I got it down right, and it was just,
it wasn't wrong. It was just more of a style kind of thing.
The style that they wanted me to say it, and how they wanted me to say it, and then they kept doing different shots of my face, and behind my head, everything.
So that kind of got you looking at different ways that producers and directors kind of do things.
I mean, it was a real opener to this is how this is really seen. You don't see everything all the time, and for the first time on set, it was just like, oh, okay. It was like, this is cool. Okay, I was really nervous, but I really did well. I did actually get on, so they didn't cut me. So because that's the thing, when you first start out, 90% of the time you're either going to make it or they're going to cut you because the bigger actors get the more time. Right. Which is cool. That's what they do. You know? So that's what we are. We as the younger generation is striving to get to.
So you were in a local commercial for BB&T.
Yes.
Go into that a little bit. How was that?
I went up to New York City for the audition. Took me 5 minutes. Came back, called me again. Went up for 5 minutes, and the director was like, "Okay, you got it." And I was like, "You really never know what he means, but you got it. Okay, you did it right, or you got the part." And actually, I got the part, and I was super excited. We went up to New York, and it was a little small town, and I was just taken back by how they had this all poised out. They were using sunlight and stuff like that, and I didn't really understand what was going on until. And
it's more of a story commercial.
It's a straight-up
It's not
story.
like a 30-second kind of thing.
It's like a 90-second commercial. I'm like, cool. Okay, and then I'm in it for a couple minutes. I was the mechanic, so I got to transition.
And that's on. Is that on YouTube?
That's on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, we'll put a link in that so you can see Josh below. Yeah. But so then that kind of leads into a little bit of a, bigger role, a bigger title for Creed 2.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how that came about.
When Huey Loftus Casting went and posted it on Facebook, all the people that I was going to class with were like, "Yo, we were going to try for this," and I was like, "I'm going to try for it."
Yeah, it's here, it's local.
Right. So I went and posted for it, and I got they got back to me and they said, "Let's go on." So I went down there. The first day I was SAG, which is you get SAG wavered and stuff like that, which is really cool. You need 3 SAGs 3 waivers to actually get SAG.
Okay.
So it was interesting. But you get the role treatment, and I was the security officer.
Okay.
For the Russian montage fight scene with Florian and with Dolph Lundgren.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get that specific role, or what,
they just choose it out of.
Okay. You're just there that day, and they say, "Here's what."
What it is, they used to see. They like your look.
Okay.
And then they'll say, "We like your look. We want you to do this."
Okay.
And then they said, since you were available for this long, we're gonna keep you on for this long.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there was like 500 some odd cast for just the background people,
mm-hmm.
and then I was just excited for it. So we were the first day on set. I'm standing there next to one of my friends, and I'm wearing the security T-shirt, which is actually it's an American saying, and they're like, why we're in Russia or Ukraine. We were in Ukraine, and they're like, why are we having American lettering? And then like 5 seconds after we started filming, the crew came over and they put the actual Ukrainian saying of security on there, and then they had a shot where it was Dolph Lundgren and Florian coming out of the scene,
mm-hmm.
like out of the from the back in the back
mm-hmm.
to the front of the crowd, and I was the one security officer waiting for him, and as they were coming through, it was really cool. They made it like he was the big bad
mm-hmm.
guy and stuff like that, and when Dolph was finished filming, he came over and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's just really cool guy. I mean, he's actually, I think he's a professor.
Right. Yeah.
Like yeah. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. He talked very well, and he just was trying to. And then he went back and started working out, just so he could get his little pump on, and then he would come back out and do it again. So it was great. And then I was on set for the finals fight. And the final fight was, they sat me right behind Russell Hornsby.
Okay.
And I got to the point where I was just like, all right, great, I'm going to be on film. And we were talking, Russell was coming out, we were having fun, and we had Stallone come out, and the crowd cheered and everything
mm-hmm.
else. It was great. Stallone was a really good guy. He stepped up onto the ring and started talking to the fans, and I talked to him about my I just got done an indie film.
Okay.
For it was called Judgment Angelo's Story.
Okay.
And Angelo was a character, and the actor played it his name's Paulo Gocek.
Mm-hmm.
Paulo Gocek back in the day was called the Stallone of Albania.
Mm.
So he was playing Stallone in Albania. It was great. And he's just like, "Oh, you got to tell him I say hi." Okay. I was like, "All right, no problem, man." He's like, he made my life. He changed my life, because he was actually the body double for Stallone back when they were chasing chickens and
mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I think that was Rocky 2. Rocky 3. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. So, but yeah, it was really cool to see that that progression, like one person can change a life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that really inspired me, and I told him that too. He's like, that's really cool, And
yeah, you have to say it.
I mean, really, and the thing is too, is
you can't help yourself.
No, you can't. And when you talk to him, it's just like, hey, he's like, I just don't understand things, and it's just
because he's half in character,
God,
right? I mean, you're on
that's
set.
Him. That's him.
Right.
He's not in character. That's really him.
You know what I mean, though?
Great.
Like you're not, you didn't meet him somewhere else.
No.
Like you're actually on set too. So yeah.
And then, it was just really cool that this is that guy,
mm-hmm.
that changed so many lives, and he. I've heard stories about him going to restaurants and saying, "Hey, I'm going to pay for the bill for the rest of the night,"
mm-hmm.
and nobody had to pay for the rest of the night. And it was really cool,
So for people watching, and real quick, it doesn't have to be very long, but what advice do you have if someone says, "Hey, I'd really kind of like to get into that, acting, that kind of thing"?
Yeah.
What's a little bit of advice you can give them?
You can do anything you put your mind to. I mean, anything. I went from a graphic designer to I went to a grocery manager to a to climbing trees for 13 years for the power lines. And I was climbing 100-foot trees. I was doing the hardest trees in the world, and then I would just, it was to the point where, like, this is a young man's game, and I can't keep doing this the rest of my life. And I put my mind to it. I said, I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. And I stuck to it. I read a book called The Secret, and that book actually changed my life. I met a lot of people throughout that time. Like Jeffrey Combs is another guy, and he said, know your worth. And to me, that really resonated with me. It's like, I'm doing all this work, and I'm not getting any recognition. I'm not getting any praises, nothing. And I knew that you can do better. I always know you can do better, and I kept telling people, you don't ever quit on what you want to do.
Keep improving, keep going.
Oh my God.
Yeah, cool.
Be in the moment, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
You really can. I mean, anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for talking with us.
Yeah.
And going over your story from Creed 2.
Thank you.
You can obviously see Creed 2 right here at the Fox Berkshire Movie Theater in Why I'm Missing. Thanks, Josh, for coming in.